27 lawmakers in the Rivers State House of Assembly loyal to the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Wike, have defected to the All Progressives Congress from the People's Democratic Party. Factional Speaker of the House, Martins Amawewele, read the defection letters during Monday's sitting. Uduak Patrick filed this report.
Excited lawmakers flying the handed flag of the All Progressive Congress and chanting songs in support of the opposition APC in Rivers State and President Bola Tinubu after defecting from the People's Democratic Party on whose platforms they were elected. Factional Speaker Martins Amawewele explains that the defection follows the perceived division in the PDP at the national level.
The Right Honorable Martin Chika Amawewele, DSSRS Speaker, Rivers State Assembly, Moscow, Takot, Mr. Speaker. Defection to the All Progressive Congress, APC. Defection to the All Progressive Congress, APC. I write to bring to your attention my decision to leave the People's Democratic Party, PDP. This decision to leave the PDP is necessitated by the division in the People's Democratic Party, of which I was elected to this House. In particular, the tussle around who the National Secretary of the PDP is has now sharply divided the party and made it unclear as to who is the National Secretary of the party.
During Monday's sitting by the faction, the Rivers State Local Government Amendment Bill 2023 passed second reading.
This bill is to amend the principal law. The amendment is quite necessary, Mr. Speaker, at this point in time, considering that the Supreme Court, in its ruling, has criminalized the running of local government by caretaker.
And it is not proper for the resources of the people to be put in the hand of someone that does not even understand the terrain of that LG. Everything that is being allocated to the local government belongs to the local government and should be managed by a democratic elected persons from that place.
Distinguished colleagues, the idea is to remove the anomaly inherent in this law. The law has given powers to the governor that the governor does not have. When our people elect councillors, elect chairmen of local governments, it will be improper for a sitting governor through a fiat remove these elected individuals.
The lawmakers condemned the alleged refusal of Governor Simina Lare Fubara to hand over to the police.
The said motion is to condemn the refusal of His Excellency Sir Simina Fubara, Governor of Rivers State, to hand over suspects that burned the Kalu Kalu to the law enforcement agencies and seizure of the funds for the management of the Rivers State House of Assembly, to condemn the present attack on the Rivers State House of Assembly and abuse of power by Sir Simina Fubara.
The governor sits comfortably in his house, while the Rivers State Hollow Chamber remains unrepaired after it was burnt down by individuals and suspects that have been so named, and the governor has done nothing.
The Rivers State House of Assembly recently experienced turbulence with its membership divided into two, including a fire attack on the Assembly complex over an impeachment threat. One faction remains loyal to Governor Fubara, while the other is loyal to FCT Minister Wike, who is the immediate past governor of the state.
Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party is asking the electoral body INEC to immediately begin conducting fresh elections in the 27 state constituencies in Rivers State. The party says the demand becomes necessary following the alleged vacant positions occasioned by the defection of the 27 former Rivers State House of Assembly members to the All Progressives Congress. In a statement, PDP National Publicity Secretary Debo Ologwagba argues that by defecting from the PDP, the political platform on which they were elected to the Rivers State House of Assembly, the seats of the 27 lawmakers have become vacant by Section 109, Subsection 1G of the 1999 Constitution. The Labour Party is also calling on the Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly to declare vacant the 27 seats of the defected members without delay in line with the laws of the land. Joining us now on the morning show is Kalu Kalu, a lawyer and a chieftain of the All Progressives Congress APC. He will be joined by His Highness Anabs Sara-Igbes, National Coordinator, South-South Leadership Forum, former National Publicity Secretary, spokesperson PANDEF, former State Security Advisor to the Rivers State government during former Governor Peter Odili, Niger Delta activist and elder statesman. Good morning and welcome to the morning show. All right.
Good morning, and thank you for having me today.
Good to have you. All right, I'll start with Mr. Kalu Kalu. Let me start with you, especially with regards to the statement made by the PDP and the Labour Party calling for the 27 seats to be vacant or declared vacant, and INEC should proceed to conduct fresh elections following the constitutional provision that if you defect my party, then that seat is considered vacant. Can you interpret that part of the Constitution for us? And are they right in making claims that those seats are currently vacant and INEC ought to conduct fresh elections?
Already, the 27 affected constituencies, their seats are already vacant, going by the provision of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as altered. That is precisely Section 109, Subsection 1G of the said Constitution. So once you defect from the political party upon which you won election to another political party, before the expiration of the house upon which you were elected, that you automatically lose that seat. So there is no need for any institution to declare that seat vacant. That seat, by the provision of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, is already vacant. They are vacant. All INEC needs to do now is to commence the process of conducting by-elections into those affected 27 state constituencies in River State. That's the law. And there are decided cases in that. This thing happened in Ondo, in the case of Abegunde versus Ondo State House of Assembly. And the Supreme Court rose to the occasion and said, having left the party upon which you won the election, you've lost your seat. That case was reported in 2015, 8th Nigeria Weekly Law Report, part 1461. Even the one that was just decided last year by the Court of Appeal in the case of Ogunoji versus Omahe. The court was also very clear. The Court of Appeal was also very clear on this issue of legislative members in the House leaving the political party upon which they came to the House. That once you leave, it's automatic. It's automatic. Once you leave, you've lost that seat. So that's the position. And we expect INEC before the end of today, or say by tomorrow, to come out with a statement on when they will conduct the next by-election to feed those affected areas in River State. Okay. So that's the law.
Okay, so Mr. Kalu Kalu, some clarification. Are you an APC chieftain, or you are with the PDP? Because we saw you a lot with Alhaji Atiku Abubakar during the Chicago saga. So I want you to clarify that. But secondly, there's a caveat, Mr. Kalu Kalu, and you know the caveat. The caveat is if the party is in division. That's the caveat. If the party is in division, is in unison, and that's when the lawmaker defects, you don't have to challenge your seats for your seat again if the party is in division. Because a letter was written here stating the fact that there is no division in the PDP. And that's what the deputy legal assistant of the PDP in Rivers State did right on. I will also press it further. It is not that uhuru, as it were, for INEC to call those elections. Look at the case of YPP. There was no qualms in YPP. Senator Umba defected. Till date, they've not put up a seat for a by-election. He defected to the APC. So it's not as easy as that. What do you take? What's your take on this?
Let me start from your first question as to my membership of APC. I've said it on this platform that I am a member of APC. Okay. That I started my political journey with Congress for Progressive Change, that is CPC, when Buhari ran for the presidency of this country in 2011. I ran for House of Representatives for Arochukwu Ohonfe Federal Constituency in 2011 under CPC. I lost in that election. And in 2012, there were talks on how to bring all the opposition political parties together to form a stronger political party. And to be precise, on the 6th of February, APC was bettered. And I was part of the major arrangement that formed APC. And when APC came on board in 2013, in 2015, the party deemed it fit, having considered my participations in the major arrangement, gave me tickets to run election under the platform of APC in Ohofia South State Constituency. And ever since, I have been a member of APC. And mind you, Rufai, I'm a lawyer. And as a lawyer, I take briefs from clients.
Okay, so Alaji
in 2020,
is your client. 22, I just want to clarify.
2022.
So Alaji Atiku Abubakar was your client.
Atiku Abubakar never briefed me for any matter. But PDP as a party, I did a couple of cases for PDP. So I, as a lawyer who is licensed to practice in this country, I took briefs. Okay. From good clients.
Okay, so you are an APC member.
APC never gave me any brief. Okay. So should I go home hungry? Should I go home hungry because I'm a member of APC?
No. Oga Kalu, just to clarify now, don't get upset. So you are an APC member, but you take a lot of briefs from the PDP. So let's just clarify it. And I like the way you've clarified.
Yes.
Yes, so PDP is your cash cow, APC is your party.
On your second question. That's the language of Rufai, but that's not my language. Okay. On your second question, Rufai, on the issue of conflicts in the party, Rufai, the proviso in section 1091G is clear that if there is a division in the party upon which the member came to the house in question, that the person has the right to move to another political party. The question here now is there a division or a split in PDP? And the answer is clear, that there is no division in PDP. Yesterday, PDP PDP came out with a position that they are against what happened in Rivers State. And today, there is no conflicting or dissenting opinion from another quarters or another group in PDP saying that what Honorable Debo said is not the position of PDP. Even in Rivers State, as we talk, there is only one PDP in Rivers State. And there is no other faction of PDP in Rivers State. There is only one PDP in Rivers State. At the national level, there is only one PDP at the national level. I saw the video clip of the purported speaker of Rivers State House of Assembly, that today that we don't have a substantive national secretary of PDP, that there are several cases there are several cases bordering on who is the national secretary of PDP. That is laughable. It's a very lame excuse, and that is not what the law says in terms of division or split in the party. If you take the Constitution of the People's Democratic Party and read thoroughly, you will see that the Deputy National Secretary of the party is a member of the National Working Committee of the party. That's to show you how sensitive that position is. And they provided a deputy in the event that the substantive secretary, the national secretary, is not available or is indisposed. Then you have a deputy who will not take up the responsibility of that office until the person comes back. And I can tell you for certain that there is no court process filed by Senator Samuel Anyanwu in all the cases the former speaker or the purported member of Rivers State House of Assembly said. There's none. I remember that my office was even retained by a member of PDP to determine whether Samuel Anyanwu, who went to run election as the governorship candidate of PDP, should still remain as the national chairman, as the national secretary of the party, having gotten the ticket of the party to run for the governorship position in Imo State. And court gave order, said, while the matter is still pending, that status quo should be maintained. Nobody is talking about that on the leadership of the party. It is only when there is the leadership crisis, when there's a split in the leadership of the party at the national level, that you can then say that there is a split. But as we speak today, PDP is conducting its affairs without any faction in anywhere in the country, precisely at the national level and at the River State level. So there's no split, there's no division in PDP. Okay. And I stand to be quoted wrong. All right, okay. So no split in the PDP, but I have a question with regards to where former Governor Nyesom Wike and now FCT Minister stands. Is he a member of the APC or the PDP? I mean, to the best of our knowledge and what we know, he hasn't publicly declared that he's defecting to the APC. However, isn't it curious that the PDP chieftains, loyalists, have defected to the opposition, as it seems, in terms of the APC? Then the other side of that is that, I know you're not a PDP member, so you cannot hold brief for them, but perhaps as an APC chieftain and a party member yourself, you might be able to explain perhaps why it seems like the PDP has been so docile, to put it mildly, with regards to Mr. Nyesom Wike's acts or behavior, and just openly in support of the APC while still being, at least to the best of our knowledge, a card-carrying member of the PDP. This question is for both Mr. Kalu and Your Highness. Thank you so much for joining us. First of all is that in River State, number one is the members who've, Your Highness, Anabs, Sara-Igbes, thanks for joining us this morning. The first thing I'm asking this morning is that from a political perspective, perhaps you might shed more light on the fact that a PDP member has drawn people to the other side while himself still remaining a PDP member himself. And the fact that it seems, apart from the statement from Mr. Debo Ologangba that they should vacate their seats, why are they so docile with regards to former Governor Nyesom Wike and his actions that are clearly anti-party? Your Highness, please, I'd like your take on this, and then perhaps Mr. Kalu can also weigh in on this too.
Well, thank you very much. First of all, Nyesom Wike, who initially said APC is cancer, and that is in PDP, which is malaria, is gradually moving to the cancer. And the cancer is now spreading to affect several persons in the state. we are surprised that one man wants to be in control of PDP in Rivers State and also in control of APC in Rivers State. Politics, it is not so. You must have ideology. That shows that there is no ideology in the politics we are playing. You belong to a party based on the ideology of the party. But if you want to grab power in both parties, it means you are interested solely and wholly in the party, in the power, not in the benefit of the party or what party will bring on board. So also Wike being in APC and PDP, I think this is the first time in the politics of Nigeria where they can have a blind eye on somebody who's clearly doing anti-party. Having said that, recently he has moved 27 members of the House of Assembly from the PDP to APC. And this is a man who was championing that if you leave, you cannot take your vote of a party to another party, and who in the past went to court to restrain people or to remove people who have cross-carpeted. And here is he encouraging people to cross-carpet. Of course, the law is very clear. There is no problem in PDP presently. We don't hear of any crisis in the PDP. If the alphabetic crisis, the House of Assembly is not PDP. So if they move from PDP to APC, it means they have violated the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and therefore they should be asked to vacate their seat and let INEC declare their seat vacant because they have left their party that elected them to power. But that is not the issue. The issue is one man who is not satisfied with power, who is not satisfied with money he has accumulated, is interested in controlling the entire state and to an extent the entire country. I think Mr. President should be wary because today is Rivers State. We hope tomorrow it will not be the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So Rivers people are watching, and we are not happy with the development. We pray that Wike should retrace his step, the assemblymen should retrace their step, and toe the line or the advice of Mr. President, wherein he said they should all go home and make peace. While Sim is talking peace, is pursuing peace in all corner, the minister is interested in war. He wants to fight war. He wants to impeach Sim by all means. And I don't think that is the best for the country or the best for the state at the moment. Because if he continues with that, with his friend Ganduje, I believe it will go beyond politics to economy. Rivers State is a very special state in Nigeria with the economy and investment of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in this part of the country. So any political crisis might spill over to the economic crisis. So we, as elders, we are asking them to come down, resolve their differences amicably so that there will be peace in the state. That is where we stand.
All right, Mr. Kalu.
My take on the issue of Nelson Wike having his two legs, one in APC, one in PDP, is very simple. PDP, as a political party, has the right to discipline him. And PDP also has the right not to discipline him for whatever reasons best known to them. But as an Igbo man, you don't follow a madman to fight on the streets. If you follow a madman to fight on the streets, people passing or bypassers will also see you as a madman. So probably that is what PDP want to avoid in this scenario. But be it as it may, the people of Rivers State are watching keenly to see how this thing ends. Today, Wike has not declared openly that he has left PDP to join APC. He's still a member of PDP. But we are seeing his antics in the politics of Rivers State, controlling the structure of PDP and at the same time controlling the structure of APC in the state. But by and large, what he is doing is bad. Bad in the sense that politics is played on ideology. On which ideology is Wike playing his own politics? Politics of confusion, politics of strangulation, politics of what? So when you look at all this, you will know that that is confusion and nothing else. And people should not follow him into his confused state.
Okay, so a lot of people will argue with you. You've said, you made the analogy of don't go into the square fighting the madman. As far as the first question, I was asking, who is the madman? But secondly, a lot of people will say concerning Governor Wike, pure and simple, former Governor Wike, that this man outsmarted the PDP and he took them to the cleaners because of their docility, pure and simple. And he dares them every time to come and fight him, but they don't have the gravitas, probably because they're complicit. That's some other argument out there. And he's shown it many times, because how much more are they going to pound and beat the PDP up before they settle the Wike matter? And he keeps telling them to their faces, you can't do anything. And some other people are saying, concerning this Fubara case, because the Fubara himself is not even aligning with the key stakeholders of PDP in the state as we speak, that Wike might just take him also to the cleaners. So it's not a case of you don't want to rub raw shoulders with him. It's a case of he's been able to outsmart the PDP in their game. And if you are to count the scores in the game, it's 4-0 to Wike, 4 to Wike, 0 to the PDP. What do you say about some of these assertions out there? I'll come to you, sir, Your Royal Highness first, then afterwards I'll come to you, Mr. Kalu Kalu.
Well, thank you very much. Everything you do in this world, it has a beginning and it has an end. What I see that is playing out today is the karma that Wike is trying to put on himself. When you do certain things, karma will come, and how it will come, you don't know. Same Fubara is a loyal party member, a loyal person to to Wike to a fault. And because he's so loyal, Wike may think he can take him to the ground, they can rubbish him. But I can tell you, because of what Wike has done in the past, Sim may not be willing to fight him. Wike will now decide to fight himself. This is playing out, and that is why, and all the things he has done in PDP, he has a karma. So when nobody is fighting him, he would like to fight himself. You see, I will tell you a story. When they had to set up a judicial inquiry against former Governor Peter Odili, I was a lone voice who said, don't do it. But Wike and Amechi did. Their target was not even Peter Odili. Their target was Amechi. Abiesakibo. But you cannot divorce Abiesakibo from Peter Odili. And they tried to rubbish Peter Odili. Today, we are still alive. Wike rubbished Amechi as a karma. And today, we are also seeing Wike trying to invite his own karma to come upon himself. As regards PDP not doing anything to him, I think nature has its own cause. Anything you are doing without the hand of God, this is how you'll be fooling yourself until you kill yourself. Wike is not consistent. It's known to everybody in Nigeria. It's not somebody who can take his word to the market. Today he says this, tomorrow he says that, and it's not consistent. A man who is not consistent has no value. Some person think when you have money, you have value. He has no value because he's not consistent in all his actions, all his deeds, and his word.
Your Royal
So
Highness,
people try
he
to
has
ignore
no
him.
value. He has no value, but he could get people to defect overnight in a state. He still controls the political machinery of a state. He controls 2 political parties, and you claim he has no value? And the governor is shaking?
What
Your
you're
Royal
saying
Highness?
is moral value. We're talking about morality. We're talking about moral value. If you don't have moral value, you can get everything but without moral. What do you have? Our parents taught us, good name is better than silver and gold. If you have all the money and you don't have good name,
Okay.
what do you have? You have nothing.
Okay.
We come into this world with nothing, and we shall go with nothing.
Okay.
But we will live character.
Okay. Your Highness, we thank you so much for your time.
We
thank you so much for your time, but Nigerian politics is not a place where people talk about moral values at all. But thank you so much for your time, Your Highness. I'll come to you, Mr. Kalu Kalu. At first, who is the madman in your analogy you gave? And secondly, answer the question that Mr. Wike has been able to do whatever he's doing and get away with it because of the docility of the PDP. And he's dared the PDP many times to come at him, but they can't.
Rufai, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I said as an Igbo man, it's an adage in Igbo land. And the same Igbo people say that when an Igbo proverb is said, and the listener wants an interpretation, and if the interpretation is given, that the listener's mother's bride price will be lost. So, Rufai, I wouldn't want your mother's bride price to be lost. So we'll leave it at that. on the issue of Wike being a powerful person, let me tell you what happened in Rivers State yesterday. They just shot themselves by their legs. Wike has lost totally. As we speak today, Wike has lost 27 members of Rivers State House of Assembly. That's the law. So, what is the power there? That out of your stupidity, you made 27 members of a State House of Assembly to lose their seats, as you speak. And we have, let me even bring it to the attention of Nigerians, that an NGO, where I belong, has written to the Inspector General of Police for the prosecution of those 27 affected, to those 27 former members of PDP for impersonation and conspiracy to commit a treasonable felony.
All right, Mr. Kalu, let's talk about that later. Let's talk about that later. Right? Since you've brought it on, I think it's really important to address that. So under the Center for Reform and Public Advocacy, you've written to not just the Inspector General of Police, but also INEC as well. And it was signed by you. So you wrote on behalf of the organization.
Yes.
Where you were calling the attention to the fact that, well, in INEC's case, that those seats ought to be declared vacant and they should conduct elections. And in the event that they do not do that within 48 hours, you would proceed to court, right? Now, 2 questions for you.
Yes.
And this is something we'd asked earlier on. As an APC chieftain, one would assume that you would be quite excited to see and welcome new members from the opposition. So you have gained 27 new members to the APC because you self-identify as a chieftain of the All Progressives Congress. It's quite curious that you are championing the defection case and asking them to vacate those seats in favor of the PDP. That's quite curious. The second aspect of that is this. it's not Uhuru. So I think it's important not to mislead the audience by making a statement that has not been cleared by the authority that is in charge of that, which is INEC, to say that they are in, it's vacant. You've interpreted the law by yourself. And if I mention another aspect of that, if they're able to prove that the party is divided. So you can't say just like that it is an illegality until it is proven, okay? So on that note, following this letter to INEC, what is the next step? If INEC don't respond, or because they haven't said anything yet, at least as at this time, what would be your next move? And what would be the APC's response as to the fact that you are championing a cause that is against their party? You also could be accused of anti-party activities at this rate.
The first issue which you raised is the issue of the letter we wrote to INEC on conducting a by-election in Rivers State. And as a member of APC, why wouldn't I be happy? We are talking about good governance in Nigeria. We are talking about upholding the provisions of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. If the Constitution says once you defect to another political party that you lose your seat, that is the law. And Section 1.1 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria says that the provisions of this Constitution shall be supreme and binding on all persons. If the provisions of the Constitution is supreme, it means that by the provision of 1091G, that if you defect, you lose your membership of the State House. That is the law, and it's very clear. So will I say because I'm a member of APC and I will see the law and then turn it upside down and then support illegality? My conscience wouldn't allow me to do that. That is why, as a member of a civil society organization, we said, no, let the proper thing be done. And in all sincerity, this has also raised the issue of Nigerians to know whether INEC is actually an independent entity or not. Because if there are decided cases by the Apex Court on this issue that once you defect, that you have lost your membership of the House, if there is no crisis or if there is no split or division in the party. And today, there is no split in PDP. We don't have any person that is saying that I am the national chairman of PDP, or there are two factions in PDP. There is none. And that is what the law is looking at. Once there is no such division, you have automatically lost your seat. And that is the law. We as a nation, why will we always want to wait for the court to interpret on a provision that is very clear, or on a provision that has received several judicial interpretations? This particular issue, this particular section 1091G has received several judicial interpretations by the Apex Court of the land.
Mr. Kalu, you know we are all in this game together. We are all in this game of societal development. Have you been briefed by the PDP to take this to court? As a PDP lawyer, as your client, have you been briefed by them to take it to court? Because we all know this game is not about NGO and rule of law. It's about... Have you been briefed by the PDP to take this to court?
Rufai, the letter you just brought to the public domain was written by an NGO, not by PDP. I am not speaking for PDP in this instance. I am speaking as a member of an NGO. So the NGO has taken a position in this matter that there is vacancy in Rivers State House of Assembly. And the proper thing to do in upholding the provisions of the 1999 Constitution is for the institution saddled with that responsibility to commence action immediately to conduct by-elections into those affected state constituencies. That is what the law requires.
Okay, why didn't this NGO... why didn't this NGO speak up in the case of Uba and YPP, which is another, one that the YPP has even come out and said, we've got nothing. There's no fight going on. But Senator Uba decamped to APC because of his own political reasons. Why didn't this NGO speak or take that case up? Why is it this case of Rivers?
Rufai, it's not easy to take up every fight. There are several issues in this country. So it is only one you will be able to handle and run with that you can take up. We cannot take up, the NGO cannot take up all the fights in this country. So we should even be commended for taking up this fight. We should.
Are you part of this NGO?
If there are other, because there are thousands, there are 1,001 NGOs in this country. If they keep taking one, we have a better society.
Are you part of this NGO in any way, shape, or form? You are the NGO legal advisor. Are you part of the NGO in any way?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
I am.
Okay. Ayo, if you've got one or two more questions to ask.
The question around what next, I'm not sure that Mr. Kalu has responded to that. That following your letter to the IG, maybe perhaps I should ask if you've written, perhaps beyond IG and INEC, IG of Police and INEC, who else has received this letter? And beyond that as well, what's the next step for in this case, the PDP, since you're able to speak on their behalf?
Well, PDP has made their position known to the world. On the issue of the letter we have written to the IG, if the IG refuses to act, there are other provisions in our criminal laws that allow private prosecution of criminal offenders.
Okay.
So the 27 members, the former members of the House, 27 former members of Rivers State House of Assembly will be prosecuted for criminal infractions. Because today, they are still holding themselves as members of Rivers State House of Assembly when the Constitution, the grand norm, the highest law we have in this in the land, has declared their seat vacant. And when you lose your seat, you are no longer a member of that hollow chamber. And when you now hold yourself out, it means that you are impersonating. And when you now sit to deliberate on state affairs, it means that you are now taking over the governance of a state or part of the federation in a manner inconsistent with the provisions of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And that's treasonable felony. And the law allows private prosecution against those people.
We're almost done, Mr. Kalu. Just very quickly, question is, have you consulted with your party, the APC, in terms of the leadership? Have you spoken to them? What's their take on this? What's their stance on this? And I'd like to get your thoughts on that. And then finally, for this NGO you talk about, Center for Reform and Public Policy, beyond this particular issue, what other cases have they championed? Very briefly, please.
Several.
Like?
Example. We took, that's I'm coming up. We took up the issue of, we took Bola Ahmed Tinubu to court on the issue of his involvement in narcotic activities in the U.S. in the past. We called on, we took NDLE to court with Bola Ahmed Tinubu for them to arrest Bola Ahmed Tinubu for his involvement in narcotic activities in the past. So there are several. And we have even gotten with the NGO, we've gotten several judgments in the FCT concerning so many illegalities by the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So it's not, if you Google the NGO, you will see the activities of the NGO.
Okay. I mean, we'll research more into the activities of this NGO and probably we'll see if other politicized cases will happen. But thank you so much, Mr. Kalu, for your time. And thank you for the clarification. You're a member of the chieftain of the APC, but you're a lawyer to the PDP. Thank you so much.